Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we've got a 10 times coming up this weekend. We're going to go through and kind of talk about the different champions that are in the mix. Before I do that quickly, I just want to give you a bit of a rundown on the website, hellhades.com. Over the last few days, last week and a half or so, I have redone every rating on every champion to bring it back up to speed. I've also added in Iron Twins and updated the Hydra stuff. And we've updated the bio, or we're in the process of updating the bio on all champions. There's like maybe another, I don't know, couple of factions, few factions that we've still got to do. But we are working hard to make sure that these are all as up to date as possible. And we've added in blessings for the champions as well. So they're kind of being done champion by champion as quickly as we can across the team. But you will get more information now than you've ever got before on hellhades.com. And it's going to be bang up to date. So let's get on to this 10 times event. Yes, we've done beating on the clan boss for today. Well done, lads. Good effort. Good effort. So 10 times, obviously, is coming outside of a fusion. There's probably going to be a fusion announced, I don't know, tomorrow or next week or whatever. So just bear it in mind if you are kind of thinking, should I pull or not? You know, is it going to be worth your shards? But there are some big old champions. This is like Nuketown for championship. Yeah, it's like mind-blowingly good champions in the mix. Let's start with the epics. Magna, still basically the best HP-based nuker for arena. Especially if you're working your way through the game. I don't know if he's used as much like in plat level stuff as he was maybe a couple of months ago with the changes that have happened, but he's hard to kill. He's got a lot of HP. He's got a decent amount of defense. He's quite quick. He's easy to build. You literally just go full HP, 100% crit rate and crit damage, and he lays the nukes. If you've got someone in your team doing like a full set of HP burns, then he won't double hit with this A2, and therefore his nukage is halved. So you either play him with a burner to get his utility away, or you play him as a straight damage dealer, which is how I'd suggest you do play him, and he's damn good. He does have a drop defense on his A1. He does have a chance to stun if there are burns around on his A2. And then he's got this debuff spread, again, if there's burns around on his A3. But most people just use him for the absolute slam dunk of a nuke. He's also got this kind of passive heal if there's burns around as well. So he's he's a very cool epic, actually. Really good. Doom Tower Aura, it's okay. But yeah, great epic to start us off. Next one is a beast. Yeah, Husk. Damn. Like risen in value, really, as the game has developed. So Husk has got a provoke on his A1. This is pretty good for the head of decay. Because the other thing which he's really good at is the enemy max HP nuke. He's mainly a Hydra champion nowadays. Can use him in some off affinity kind of spider stuff. You could also use him, I guess, against Iron Twins if you just want that enemy max HP damage. But generally, he is a Hydra champion. Head of decay with this. Nukage with this. Doesn't need accuracy for those things to happen. People just turn off the A3 and put him in reflex gear to try and get back to the A2 as often as they can. But yeah, beastly epic champion. Very underrated in a lot of stuff. Because he straight up just got an AoE stun on the A2 to like help you progress through things like faction wars or dungeons. So he's actually just generally useful. So next one up, another very good epic. Talisia. Talisia, again, a good Hydra champion, but also just a really good straight up epic champion. So she's got a 50% chance of debuff spreading on the A1 on champions that have got Hex. She does put Hex out herself. So when attacking enemies under drop defense, 50-50 chance of putting a Hex out there. Nowadays, that's pretty good, right? When Hex is out there, anyone who's doing damage is doing this kind of like damage spillover of another 10%. So that's now a decent debuff to have out there. She's got this drop defense herself, which doesn't need books to be 100%. One of like a handful, 3 or 4 champions that can do this without books. But if you do book her out, she becomes a 3-turn, which makes it even better. And then the A2 is an attackable enemy and increases the duration of debuffs out there. Her kit is brilliant. It's really good. And yeah, really good champion for Hydra, but also just anywhere really. So Talisia, really strong epic. We've got one more in here in the Night Revs again. Skull Crown, one of the OGs really, one of the OG nukers for Arena. Also good in dungeon content as well. Very simple kit. Nuke. Yeah, double AoE nukes. You can put her in stun sets, stuff like that for faction wars, and she'll help you get through it. Or you can just use her as a straight-up damage dealer in Arena. For a long time, she was part of this kind of blender team in Arena where speed into ally attack and then 2 people doing AoE hits. Because she's got this chance to do a double hit on her A1, she just becomes the best person to kind of set up the damage. So yeah, really, really strong champion. She's also got these passives. This is why she's so good in Arena, especially in like mid-tier Arena. When she goes low, she puts Unkillable on. She's definitely going to get a hit. And then when she hits, she drops the cannon. So yeah, really strong champion as a Void. She's also got this nice synergy with Sinacia, that she gets a revive as well. So yeah, all in, like, great epic. Really good epic. Let's get on to the legendaries then. And the first one, I've actually got, since I played this game, 6 copies. No, it must be 7. So I've got a +4 Cupidus and 2 more. I've had 7 copies of Cupidus since I played this game. And recently, he was buffed to God tier level. Yeah, so he's now an absolute beast of a champion. He's in some of the best arena, plat level arena offense and defense teams. Especially when he's paired with Venus, he becomes a little bit silly. So he's got an AoE smack on his A1. It's a decent hitter. Gets more damage away if there's debuffs out there. Guess who does debuffs? Venus. He's got an AoE now on his A2 with a burn on it. AoE burn, and it smacks. This is a great Hydra skill. It's a great arena skill. It's a great spider skill. Like, you name it, really. HP burn is where it's at late game. This is awesome. He's then got a single target smack on his A3. On a 3 turn, it hits really hard. And 50% chance of placing a burn on all enemies if he kills someone, which cannot be resisted. So if you're built in without accuracy because you don't really want accuracy here, you could still use him as a burner. Won't work in Hydra, but I guess for other content. But I'm thinking accuracy is now kind of like a requirement because this skill's so good. And then this is where he gets super sweet. So you pair him with a Venus if you've got one. Does more damage. Always counterattacks when hit. Even if Venus is dead on the ground, he still does it. Really, really strong champion. Attacking all battles. He is now like God tier as a champion. Next one then. Currently, the hardest hitting champion in the game. Is Baron going to surpass this champion? We will find out soon. So Hefrak. Wow, this champion smacks so hard. So AoE hit on the A2. Gets an extra hit if he brings someone below 50% health. Yeah, so it's one of these. And most of these champions are. Maybe all of them are. No, most of them are like this conditional second hit. This is where the damage comes from. If you have a champion with a conditional second hit, for whatever reason, player him code it as if they don't exist. So he just gets like extra damage away. Ignores defense as well, which is one of the strongest things you can do in the game. That's why I think Baron's going to be an absolute nuke. And he's got this cool passive that goes alongside it. So whenever an ally is killed, instantly activates it. Instantly activates it. So does the nuke, the big hitter, as soon as one of your team goes down, and it doesn't put the skill on cooldown, so we can do it again. It's pretty nutty. A1 gets an extra hit if it's a crit as well, but it's a single target. And the A3 is a self-buff extra turn. Damn, this champion is all about the damage, and he's a lot of fun. Really fun champ. Okay, we've now got the king of the defensive nuke coming up. I think he's a Bannerlord, is he? Yeah. Stoutus Dragonbane. He slayed Draco and wore him like a cloak. He's a defense-based champion. Really fun champion again. So double hitter on the A1. If the target's under any debuff, each hit decreases turn meter. Double hitter on the A2 with a chance to stun. This is a big hit. 3-turn cooldown. And then puts increased defense on himself. Then a big nuke on the A3 as well. So 2 AoE nukes. One of which he buffs his own damage before he does it. And he's got a chance to put decreased crit damage and decreased speed out on enemies, depending on what their stats are like. Just generally, like, in terms of defensive nuker, he's up there with a Solus in terms of damage. He's got his passive as well. Whenever an enemy attempts to place weaken or drop defense or poison on him, he's like that. No, you're having it. Basically, any Draco debuff, he sends back at Draco. That's the way this is set up. I like it. Damage increases by 5% for each debuff on the target. It's pretty juicy. He's got defense in all battles as well. He's got massive stats. This dude is a beast. So can it get better? Can this 10 times be any better than it is already? Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we put like the current king? I don't know if he's the king. Hefrak, him. I mean, they're both absolutely insane. He might be about to be surpassed by Baron, but this is a champion I use for my nukes. He's got 2 big AoEs on his A2 and his A3, and he's got a big hitter on his A1 single target. A1 drops defense as well. The A2, he basically has got a passive effect, so if you're not using the A2 yet, he's basically immune to all of the nasty stuff. Yeah, if you've used it, this goes away, but if you're not using it, it's just there. He will not be stunned. He will not be frozen. Any of that nasty stuff. His A3 is a nuke as well. And put a True Fear out there if he... 100% chance of a True Fear and a Weaken as well. And then he's got this passive, similar to what I said on Skull Crown, can put Unkillable on himself before he takes the L, yeah? Before he takes the L, before he goes down, he's like that. No, I'm not going down. And by the way, the more you hit me, the harder I am going to hit you. Oh, and don't forget, you can't control me with any stunnage. So he gets lower and lower, and then when his HP is low, he is doing absolutely like top tier damage. He does have crit rate aura as well. He is basically up there, top 2, top 3, whatever, in damage, nukage, usability, versatility, all of that type of stuff. So that is your times 10. Damn. What a selection of champions we've got. Who's going to pull shards, though? Who's got shards left? Well done, Raid. You've done it again. Anyway, I'll see you later, guys.